I brought a gift for you guys just to represent. You know, we actually last night decided to book tickets to South Bend. We're going to go to a game. So here are your Notre Dame necklaces.
I'm not putting these on.
I'll put it on.
Here you go, Chad.
Just tread lightly because this is expensive equipment we got here, and I don't know
Peter.
What's gonna happen here? Hello and welcome back to SportNotes. Today is September 2nd. I am Chad, your co-host and fellow rookie. I am here in Boston this time with our three experts, Zeke, PJ, and Peter. It is good to be in person with you guys.
We're happy to have you here.
We are in our new studio right now, or the start of it.
It's very comfortable.
Yeah,
It's very comfortable.
the setup's great.
Yeah, we haven't really unpacked yet, but we're already a day behind in this episode, so we thought we'll just scrap something together.
Oh yeah.
I think PJ's got a great design. He showed us his Microsoft Paint diagram.
It wasn't Microsoft
clip
Paint.
art.
It was actually I did it on PowerPoint.
Oh, Christ, God
So
forbid.
yeah.
Well,
You know what?
regardless, very artistic, well done, and I'm excited to see it actually come to real life.
It was great.
Come to fruition.
He was like an architect, you know?
Yeah. I'd say I appreciate it, but you guys are being facetious. So
It's a big
No,
word.
that was a genuine compliment, Peach. What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? Pete, I know you'll get into it later, but you want to explain your outfit of the day right now? Because it's a little, it's a lot.
OOTD, Pete.
I think it's pretty self-explanatory, Chad. Go Irish, big win. I know PJ and Zeke are kind of butthurt about the win, but that's okay. They're allowed to be.
Stolen, but
Stolen power.
Stolen win. But we'll get to that. I think it looks good. I'm glad you're representing. You look a little bit like someone told you St. Patrick's Day was today and that you were wrong about it. But
or like you found the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow.
yeah, or you just got cast in a production of Newsies. It just came off.
You know what I will say? You're making me want a bowl of Lucky Charms. Haven't had those in a while.
Do you know they came out with a version of that was just the charms?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, because that's what.
Well, that's just like eating marshmallows.
Yeah,
I know,
It's a
which
little
is
gross.
I don't think that would be good.
No,
No, I agree with you,
They
Pete.
sell it in like industrial sized bags too. They're like 5-pound bags.
I wonder why America's such an obesity problem.
It's awesome.
Anyway, let's dive in here. I was actually here last night when we watched the USC LSU game, which I know you're going to review.
Outstanding.
But
Yeah, just
that was
an
pretty
excellent
exciting. I actually
game.
felt like I had a little more stake in it. Like I appreciated the game more than I have in the past, knowing the
Hey
background.
man,
and all,
well
you know?
tonight we have another game that we can watch, so can get really tuned into that, locked in.
A local team, BC.
Yeah, Boston College.
Boston College. Can't bet on it if you're in Massachusetts, though. You guys just taught me that today.
This is
Yep,
true.
Zeke drove to New Hampshire today.
Yep.
Nashua, right on the border. It's a 20-minute drive. So
Did you double units it or just standard units?
just a standard slick unit.
All right, Pete, take it away. Explain what all this means. Let's go to Pete's corner.
All right, so great weekend. These guys tuned into a lot of the games. A lot of crazy stuff happened. First one, we'll talk about Clemson, Georgia. Great first half. It was tight. Clemson's defense looks really good. Georgia pulled away. Clemson's offense is dog shit.
Yeah, that's really bad.
They are so bad.
God.
34-3 was the final score. Clemson could not
34
move the ball.
to 3.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Clemson's
ass
defense
kicking.
was decent. I mean, 34 points to Georgia.
They're
A lot of it
excellent.
was
So
late.
sorry to hear that, man. I know you really love Clemson.
Yeah, I think Peter's a little biased, but yeah, it wasn't good showing.
I'm sorry, 34-3. They were a consistent playoff team, and now they're getting blown out against the top teams in the country. That's a massive step back.
So
for
they
them.
suck. They're bad.
They're a good team.
Next game, Penn State was at West Virginia. We talked about this last week.
This was the big rivalry, right?
Big
Yeah.
rivalry. They ran up the score last year, scored late for no reason. West Virginia said they would
Scumbag.
remember it.
Pond scum.
Penn State won 34-12. So Penn State looked pretty good. West Virginia didn't look great. There were some things that swayed this game. There's just a couple plays that were just very impactful to the end. West Virginia, first drive, they got a turnover. And then the first snap, they turned it right back over to Penn State. They had a chance to go up. When you're at home, you're an underdog with that kind of crowd. If you can take a lead, makes a massive difference.
Okay.
And then going into the half, they kicked a field goal to make it a 7-point game with 35 seconds left. Got all the momentum back. The fans are into it. Penn State scored a touchdown in 30 seconds to go up by 14 points. And then there was a 2-hour and 15-minute lightning delay.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh, my
at
God.
halftime, and it just took
Crazy
the wind
weather,
out of the
huh?
sails.
Crazy how that happens,
Yep.
man.
So tough game. I know Zeke and I were high on West Virginia, so was PJ. So that was a tough one. Penn State looked pretty good. West Virginia didn't look great, but we'll see what happens as we go through the season. And then the other noon game we're going to talk about. This one actually was my favorite, second favorite game of the day.
Okay.
Vanderbilt is consistently one of the worst teams in college football. 14-point underdogs at home. They brought in a new quarterback. We like to call him Diego Pavia. Story behind that. By the way, I love this guy. One of my favorite college football players. New Mexico State quarterback. They won their conference last year. Their rivals, New Mexico. Or sorry, they went to the conference championship and they lost.
Good correction.
They beat New Mexico. And
fans don't like mistakes, as we learned this week.
Well, yeah.
Chill.
You'll love this, Chad. After beating New Mexico, their quarterback, Diego Pavia, decided to piss on the logo after the game.
Hence
After
Piss
the
and
game.
Pavia.
That's where the nickname
Call
comes
him
from.
Diego Piss and Pavia. He's
Wow.
a stud, and he had a fantastic game. Had a big upset for Vanderbilt. Probably one of their biggest wins in the past 10 years. Great start to the season. I'd like to see them go bowling.
Okay.
So,
Who'd
Go
they play?
bowling.
Who'd they play, Pete?
Virginia Tech, another
Make a
ACC
bowl
team.
game.
Oh.
If you're 6-6 or better, like wins losses,
Yeah.
you can qualify to go to a bowl game.
Oh, okay.
Pop-Tarts
At the end
Bowl.
of the season.
Go bowling.
Yeah. So it's
Look at
like
that.
their like postseason game.
Cool. Okay.
So that's kind of like a measuring stick. If you're a bad team, what's successful this season? We want to go to a bowl this year. We want to go bowling, is how you would say it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Moving on, Miami at Florida. Florida was in the SEC championship just a couple years ago.
Okay.
Hired a new coach. A few years later, they look like a piss poor, horrible program. I mean, they looked awful.
What was the final score?
41-17.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ooh, it's almost
Yeah.
as bad as Clemson.
Well, Clemson played the number 1 team in the country. Miami's 19.
Got it. Thanks.
So
Yeah.
It's
you're the rookie.
Miami, Chad, is one of those teams where they get a lot of high recruits, they start hot, and then they'll just have some horrible losses
Right.
mid-season.
It's pretty similar to Notre Dame, actually.
Be careful, mate. We're in close quarters here.
Yeah, so I just, you can't believe in Miami, and their coach is well known for blowing big games.
Okay. Yeah.
So we actually all thought he was going to blow this game because it was in Florida, and Florida's still supposed
Right.
to be a pretty decent team. Yeah, I mean, Florida just looked like dog shit. They were awful.
Okay.
If you're a Florida fan, I would just hang up the cleats on the season. It's you want your coach gone. You want retooling. We'll move on. And before
All
we
right.
talk about the big one, just two quick ones to talk about is Michigan was the national champion last year.
Yep.
They had Fresno State at home. They ended up winning 30-10. They looked good, not great.
Okay.
We'll see kind of where the season goes.
It was a 6-point game with like 6 minutes left in the game.
And Fresno had the ball in the red zone. They threw a
Yeah.
pick six. So.
What's a pick six?
Fresno had the football. They were, going to score a touchdown. They threw an interception to the other team,
Oh,
and they ran
right,
it all
that's
the way
like a
back for a
pick.
touchdown.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
That sucks. Okay.
The other one was Oregon, Idaho. I'm calling this one out because Oregon looked bad. Shout out to our buddy Pat McSally, who's an Oregon fan. He said that it was a very concerning game. Idaho
Sucks.
is a whole division below, and Oregon's the third team in the country, and they only won by 10. So
Terrible.
they should have won. They were favored by
Rough
40
start.
something.
Yeah.
Rough start
they
out of
were-
the gate. And then what's the big game that you're leading up to?
Oh, God, here we go.
Yeah, I mean the big game Saturday, I think, is the one that we all
The one that's
are-
going to make this podcast 2 hours long. This episode.
probably is my Notre Dame Fighting Irish, who were infamous over the past 20 years for going on the road in big game environments, especially in the SEC and Big Ten, and losing and putting up a dud. And these two idiots over here bet on Texas A&M and were hyping it up all week and how
God,
they were going
man.
to lose. And we took it to them. We,
Okay, shut up. You didn't take it to him.
It's a lot of smart money.
So
on
Notre
Texas
Dame
A&M.
won is what I'm gathering.
Notre Dame won. It was a great game. Texas A&M is considered the hardest place to play in college football.
Okay.
Their stadium's so cool.
Stadium is insane. I mean,
Is that why it's considered the hardest? Just because it's like
it's massive stadiums, like 100-something thousand people.
They call it
God.
the 12th man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
It was like 11 guys on a football field.
Oh,
yeah.
like top 5 teams have gone into Texas A&M and they've lost their consistency
Wow,
because
okay.
it's just such a hard place to play, which
Fan
is why
power.
A&M was ranked 20, Notre Dame was ranked 7, but people were saying, well, most top 5 teams come in here and lose because it's so difficult. Defense was fantastic. I mean, they have the best secondary in the country. I can say that pretty. He can't handle it, man. He can't handle the heat.
No, just keep talking.
They have the best
There's-
secondary in the country. They had the best safety in the country last year. He returned. They had a top 5 corner. He returned.
Yep.
Great defense. Notre Dame's offensive line had a lot of questions. I wouldn't say they looked great, but Texas A&M is supposed to have one of the best D lines in the country. they held their own, and Notre Dame's quarterback didn't look amazing, but he didn't turn the ball over, and that was big. And they came
this
up
sounds
clutch.
like a pretty unbiased, honest review.
Yes, tough place to play. Defense showed up. Quarterback didn't light it up, but he didn't turn the ball over, unlike Texas A&M's quarterback, who did turn the ball over twice and came out with the W. So
There you go. Hey, congrats, Pete.
All aboard the Notre Dame train, baby.
Yeah.
No, my prediction is they go into the final game of the season undefeated at the slick
USC.
LA Coliseum.
Hell yeah.
And that Notre Dame train is going to run into a freaking brick wall.
A brick wall.
Brick wall.
There you go.
There we go.
USC is nothing close to a brick wall.
Brick wall.
Nope.
They were last night.
Yeah, wait. So what about that game?
Thanks,
You
Paul.
wanna- So
Yeah, so let's move on to that one after we talked about the best game of the
of the
of
weekend.
the weekend. Yeah, LSU,
close.
USC.
Fun
Dad
to
was
watch.
watching this
Fun to
one.
watch.
Fun game.
Yeah.
USC, I'm not gonna buy into their stock yet.
Of course not.
They played really well last night, but on the contrary, LSU's coach Brian Kelly has lost 3 straight opening games in a row.
A former Notre Dame coach, actually.
Correct.
Oh, there you go.
Yep, he probably would have lost last night.
I
if
saw
he was
that.
coaching.
Zeke showed me a clip this morning. He seemed pretty upset about the loss.
Slamming
Yeah.
the table.
You know what?
with the
Let's try to
copyright strike.
reenact it instead. It was something. What did he say? He was like, "I just can't believe we're watching this again. I mean, again."
Yeah, he literally.
That's kind of what he sounded like, wasn't it?
Did his
Yeah.
best
He's like,
Aaron Boone
again.
impersonation.
And he slammed on the table.
Yeah.
Dude, I mean,
You say Aaron Boone?
Yeah, you remember when he did
Yeah,
that?
I do.
Yeah.
Thanks.
they didn't look good. They never. I mean, LSU is always a 8 to 10 win team, and they always lose week 1. I don't know what it is with Brian Kelly, but he just,
Weird.
It's because they schedule these hard games week
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, they played Florida State.
They play Clemson
Right.
next year, week one.
Well, Clemson sucks, so I wouldn't really.
Yeah, but it was close. Well, Pete, I just want to thank you again for putting 25 of my dollars into LSU to win and taking
And
that.
the over.
Yeah, and the
and the
over,
over.
which for people who don't know, that means the total score, if you add up both teams' scores in the end, had to be over 66.5 points. I think it came out at what, like 36 points or something?
47.
Yeah, it was
47?
it was 27 to 20.
Okay, fine. But you know what?
Look, USC last year was an over machine. Almost every game went over because they scored so many points, but they had such a bad defense.
That's changed this year.
Lincoln
Huh.
Riley is infamous
Sure
for...
has.
Lankins.
No, let's relax, okay? Let's relax. That game was about LSU not showing up week 1, not about USC being good. They can
I mean,
prove me wrong.
I don't know, Peter. There were a couple of great plays by USC out there.
There was a great
that
catch.
the one-handed catch, was like
Yep.
one of the best catches I've ever seen.
I'll give it. No,
Yeah, that's
USC
pretty
looked
crazy.
good, but LSU just looked bad.
Guys, hold on a sec. Zeke's having a problem here.
Dude,
You
this
all
is
right?
so uncomfortable.
I
I have no padding on my ass.
I
either,
offered to
so
get you a
it's just
cushion.
like-
I
it's
literally,
like
I said, "Do you guys want cushions?" You said no.
bone against wood.
You said no. You said no.
Zeke doesn't like the new studio setup.
We're gonna set it up. This is just the beginning. This is the ground floor. You know.
Yeah,
we should leave him down
Let's
there.
keep the ball rolling here.
In there.
All right, let's keep the ball rolling
Half
for
of the
time's
segment
sake.
was glazing Notre Dame.
Yeah, you're
so-
right. All right, so that
As it
was
should be.
week 1. That was a recap, right? Those are the main things that happened. We're gonna go over it a bit at the end. Now tell us what we should look forward to in week 2. What are some of the things to
week
look out
2,
for?
honestly, not as many big games, but there are definitely some to call out. So I think the big one is at noon this Saturday will be Michigan is hosting Texas. So
a great
as of today, the rankings are Michigan is 9, Texas is 4.
Okay, and this is Texas, not Texas A&M.
Yeah, this is Texas.
The long-
the
the
Longhorns.
Longhorns,
The
yeah.
Longhorns.
Texas is obviously supposed to be the better team and supposed to be a favorite in the SEC, but they're going to Michigan, which is considered also one of the hardest places to play. So
Okay.
we'll see. That'll be a very exciting game. The other exciting games, we have Iowa State at Iowa. This is always a fantastic game. It's the Battle of Iowa. This game's usually like 9-7.
Oh.
Crazy.
Oh my God! Like no one scores.
Yeah, these two teams just play great defense, run the ball a lot, good special teams, and I mean, I almost guarantee there's a safety in this game.
Yeah.
because it happens all the time.
Safety. Can you remind what a safety is?
A safety is when the defense tackles the offense in their own end zone.
Oh.
So rather than the offense going and scoring in one of the end zones, if they get tackled in the the end zone behind them, it's 2 points for the defense.
Oh my god! Oh,
Does
I
not-
actually did not know that.
Yeah,
was
it
a
doesn't
rule.
happen a lot, but
I've heard of safety before, and I think you've showed me when it happens, but I didn't know that they get 2 points if that happens.
and they get the ball. in a
Super
football
rare.
game.
Yeah,
it,
sure,
it
I'm
rarely
sure.
happens.
Wait,
I
what
want
day
this
is this
to-
happening?
Saturday.
Saturday.
Yeah, also on Saturday.
Hey guys, I'm gonna be here still.
Yeah.
If you like watching pads bang and a lot of contact, then this is
Yeah.
the game for you.
Yeah.
Final score predictions: 16-9. No,
Nine.
16-12.
9-3.
Mine's 2-0.
Oh, okay.
2-0 Iowa.
What a singular safety and then nothing else.
Yep.
That's a
2-0.
ridiculous prediction,
That's
but I
a
love
crazy
it.
prediction.
Bold play. That's
I
why
like
it's
that.
that's why it's not Zeke's call.
And then Colorado at Nebraska, massive rivalry game. Will be a fantastic game and environment. So that's another one that I would tune into, especially after you watch pads bang in the Iowa State game. You could kind of watch some really good quarterbacks light it up in the Colorado-Nebraska game.
Yeah,
Cool.
if you like points, that's a good game to watch.
Love points.
Yep.
Cool. All right, those are the games to look out for. So what's your blunt take for this past week? Is it gonna have to do with Notre Dame?
It is, and I brought a gift for you guys just to represent. We actually last night decided to book tickets to South Bend. We're going to go to a game. So here are your Notre Dame
I'm not
necklaces.
putting these on.
I'll put it on.
Here you go,
hold
Chad.
Just tread lightly because this is expensive equipment we got here, and I don't know
Thanks, Peter.
what's gonna happen here.
My blunt take is Notre Dame's over the hump. It's our year. When I say it's our year, I'm not saying we're going to win the Natty.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying that we are going to make the semifinals and be a top 4 team this year. We're going to host a college football playoff game. We're going to win in South Bend in the freezing cold weather. We are then going to go upset one of the top 4 teams. Probably will be the ACC or Big 12 champion. We will upset them on a neutral site, and we will be in the top 4 this year with Riley Leonard. Notre Dame will be in the semifinals and will have a chance to get to the finals and win it all this year. Notre Dame has the best win of the season of all teams. Notre Dame is going to be a top 4 team this year. Zeke doesn't like it. PJ probably doesn't like it. But strap in, it's happening. I'll do it again.
Fasten your seatbelt. Oh my god.
All aboard the Notre Dame train.
Wow. All right, Pete. In a way, that was kind of a positive blunt take because you were actually.
You want a negative
supportive.
one? Florida sucks. Disband the program.
There you go.
Sucks.
What do you think should disband the program more, Florida or New Mexico?
Oh, New Mexico easily.
New Mexico, that was piss poor, horrible.
Yeah. All right. Well, I love it. College football, full swing. I'm enjoying this season a lot more since we started this podcast, I have to say. So I'm excited for it to keep going. We'll tune in next week to see the results.
Are you taking BC tonight?
Pete, I'm going to be honest. After last night, I will just do the opposite of whatever you do. So let's move on from college football and let's go to a little teaser of professional football, the NFL. So we will go over to you, Ezekiel, with Zeke's Lounge.
NFL is starting up this week. Excited as hell. I mean, college football is kind of like the appetizer to the NFL season. So football is going to be in full swing. You kind of get the feeling that, hey, fall's starting to come, brisker weather,
Apple picking,
apple picking, pumpkins.
This is not an apple picking.
ghosts
weekend.
and ghouls.
No, but I just wanted to cover with you guys. We've got a very exciting slate for the NFL this upcoming week. So I just wanted to cover a couple of games that you're probably going to be hearing about, people talking about in the office, out in public, and I'm
They're
going
going to
to
be talking about in anticipation of it.
in
as well as afterwards. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I'm going to give you some games and then just players to, if you want to tune in, just keep an eye on, and you might actually recognize some names out there. So why don't we just get into it?
Let's get
You guys
into
ready?
it, man. Let's dive
Oh, I'm
in.
so excited.
Yeah.
Thanks for teasing us on that, Zeke.
Yeah, no, this is if you can't tell, it's very hard to contain how excited I am right now.
Yeah, you seem
What's
really...
harder to contain, your excitement for this or your pain in your ass right now?
So the season officially kicks off Thursday night. So Thursday, September 5th, we've got the Baltimore Ravens visiting the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs, obviously the defending Super Bowl champions.
Yeah.
The Ravens, they actually beat last year in the AFC Finals to get to the Super Bowl.
Right.
And the Ravens were favored. Everyone thought the Ravens were going to win. It was this finally Pat Mahomes was going to get, knocked off his pedestal, and the Chiefs went into Baltimore and beat them. So this is a really exciting rematch. The Chiefs tend to get off to a little bit of slow starts to start the year, so I wouldn't be shocked if the Ravens do win this.
Okay.
But again, look out for Pat Mahomes. Travis Kelce, I'm sure everyone knows that name, probably because he's dating Taylor Swift now.
Yeah.
But also the best tight end probably in the NFL right now. Yeah, I'd say so,
I think
Peter.
that's fair.
has been the best tight end.
he's
Yeah.
pretty good.
So keep it like those are the two Chiefs players to look out for, and then Lamar Jackson on the Ravens. 2-time MVP, won the award last year. One of the best football players right now in the league. Really fun to watch. He loves to run the ball. He loves to pass the ball. He does it all.
And he's the quarterback.
He's the quarterback.
Yeah, it's that quarter.
Quarterback.
Right.
Know
Not
some people
corner.
were displeased with my pronunciation of cornerback, but he is a quarter like the coin back.
Yeah, you got a lot of hate on TikTok for
I did.
that one.
And hey, listen, I'll engage
Relax.
with you in the comments. Everyone's got to chill, okay? All right? It's just the subtitle. The subtitle's messed up. I didn't mess up.
That's true. That's
Okay.
on. That's
So
on. That's
everyone-
on our social
everyone
media.
just
man,
chill.
Maybe you just need to like pronunciate a little better.
Okay, and you know what? I'll do my best.
Pronunciate?
All right, anyways, that's an
Jesus
exciting
Christ.
game. Thursday night, Ravens at Chiefs on NBC, 8:20 start time. Get excited. All right?
watching too much football, not reading enough books over there. Christ.
He's too busy studying.
Hey man, can you pronunciate a little better?
Yeah, I will. Well, let me try here. On Friday, September 6th, we've got the Green Bay Packers at the Philadelphia Eagles. Or no, well, technically at, but this is a neutral site game. And it's
Oh.
actually being played in Brazil, Sao Paulo.
Oh,
Yes.
Okay.
what
this,
is that?
This is crazy. Some of the
Crazy.
stuff going on here.
Yeah.
Wait, I don't know anything about this.
So it's the first. So the NFL likes to play some games every year overseas.
It's kind of like the Dublin game.
Yeah,
college football.
they
Yeah.
start. You all right?
Yeah, dude.
It's really fun to see NFL games played internationally, and I'm
Yeah.
sure the local fans there, really appreciate the NFL bringing live action football to them. But again, Eagles, Jalen Hurts is their quarterback, kind of an MVP candidate. Their coach Nick Sirianni, he's on the hot seat. People were saying he was going to get fired last year.
Scumbag.
He is a scumbag because they really did not meet expectations. Got eliminated in the first round of the playoffs, lost a bunch of games to end the year. He's on the hot seat. Expectations are high from this year. And then the Packers, they've got a really good young quarterback, Jordan Love, who broke out last year. People are expecting him to have a big year this year. So that's Thursday and Friday. Now, Sunday, where the majority of games are being played, the one game I want people to keep an eye out for is the Dallas Cowboys at the Cleveland Browns. And not really even because this is a great matchup, but because Tom Brady, it is his first NFL game in the announcing booth for Fox. Yep.
Okay.
So he signed a $300 million over 10-year deal with Fox to become the color commentator.
So
on the
that's
game.
like his next thing.
Oh yeah.
Oh my
Yep.
god.
Yeah. So he's going to be in the booth announcing that game.
Wait, so he's going to be the guy that like you'll hear his voice being like, "Hey," and he catches the ball and he goes down the pen. Or is
No,
he, like,
he's going to be
that
the
guy?
guy. He catches
That's
the
play-by-play.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
what does he do?
The color commentator. Like if the guy says, "Oh, he catches the ball," he's like, "Wow, look at this slant route that he just ran. What a great one-handed."
Got it.
That would be
Yeah,
it.
it's that. Okay.
Yeah.
He's the analyst of that.
Got it. Yeah.
So
Wow.
if you're going to be watching some players to look out for here on the Browns, you got Deshaun Watson. They paid him a boatload of money to come over from Houston to Cleveland. And needless to say, he has sucked as the Cleveland quarterback. He has been he has not played up to the money that they're paying him. And on the Cowboys, we've mentioned this name before, but CeeDee Lamb just signed a massive contract extension after he was holding out. I think he's getting paid like $136 million in total.
So his holdout came true
His holdout,
for him.
yep. So he got paid. He's arguably one of the best receivers in the NFL. Always makes highlight reel plays. Look out for him.
Wow.
You know what's crazy? Tom Brady is making double the highest wide receiver contract in the
Yeah,
NFL.
as an announcer.
As an
For
announcer.
just being the announcer.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's making more as an
man.
announcer than when he was the quarterback of the Patriots.
Yeah, that's so
Oh, yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's so
Well,
much. There's so much money.
That's
there.
what being the GOAT will do for you, I guess.
And he's a handsome guy too, so
He's a
he's
handsome man.
not camera shy. So, and then finally that night, 8:20, we've got the Los Angeles Rams playing at the Detroit Lions. So two really exciting teams, really good offenses. Actually, a rematch of last year's wild card playoff game where the Lions beat the Rams. I think the Lions. It was the first time the Lions had made the playoffs in I don't know how many years. And they're a very exciting team to watch. They beat the Rams. Matthew Stafford, the quarterback for the Rams, actually started his career in Detroit. So
Wow.
it's kind of
Jared
like
Goff started his
and
career
Jared
in
Goff
Rams.
started in LA. Now they were actually in a trade for one another. They
Yes.
swapped
Swap.
teams. And two players you want to keep an eye on for. I mentioned Matt Stafford, and we said Jared Goff,
Yep.
but Amon-Ra St. Brown, the Sun God, probably my favorite player in the NFL.
Sun God.
He's a wide receiver, everyone. Wide receiver, that's his position. For,
Let's say it again.
He's what?
one of the best receivers in the league. And then on the Rams, they have two very good wide receivers as well. Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua. What a name. Probably one of the coolest names in the league. So
That's sick.
if you're watching the
Other than
game,
DeBrickashaw,
keep those
though.
names in mind. Yeah, DeBrickashaw, right?
That's great.
And then finally, to wrap up the week 1 slate, on Monday night on ESPN, we have the New York Jets traveling to California to play the San Francisco 49ers. So the 49ers were in the Super Bowl last year.
Yeah.
I think everyone except Chiefs fans wanted them to win. Unfortunately, they did not. And the Jets, who signed Aaron Rodgers to a massive contract last year, he got injured within the first couple plays of the game, tore his Achilles, out for the year.
He's pretty old.
He's really old. He's in his
The first
40s.
play?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, geez.
I think it literally was the first play.
Maybe it was the first. Yeah, it was the first
Oh my
play.
God.
Yeah, he got injured. So this is really kind of his debut as a New York Jet. Yeah, I think they definitely have a real shot. They have a great defense. On the 49ers, it's their offensive weapons that are kind of stealing the show. So Christian McCaffrey, their running back, best running back in the league. Brandon Ayuk, another name we've mentioned. He just signed a massive extension. He'll be playing. And Deebo Samuel as well. Both of those guys are wide receivers. Keep an eye out for them. Should be a great game. Super excited and looking forward to talking about him next week once these have been completed.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice. I'm very excited. Thursday, NFL starts. That's awesome. Little segue. Fantasy football is also starting up. We mentioned this, I think, for the last 2 episodes maybe, but you've probably heard or at least seen people in your office or in friend groups are all talking about needing to do their leagues, do their drafts, whatever the hell it is. So this is starting, and I don't know if you're like me, but anytime this has come up in the past for me, I'm like, I stay away from that because I have no clue how any of it works. I'm excited to do it this year with our SportNotes fantasy league.
Wednesday night.
But
draft.
Zeke, you were going to give everyone a little cheat sheet of sorts, just kind
Yep.
of like pointers. If you're in a league, if your office is making you be in one or your friend group wants you to be in one, and you're like, I literally have no clue how to navigate this, who to pick. These are like a couple pointers to be like, just go with these general rules of thumb, and you should be able to skate by for a week or 2.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, like Chad said, cheat sheet, back of the envelope notes here. And hopefully can try to get you some wins in your fantasy league if you do decide to join. So, first off, you can't win a draft with your first and second round pick, but you can certainly lose it. So you got to make sure you hit on that first or second round pick, okay? So what you're going to want to do is
Both first and
second. Okay, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
You're going to want to draft a running back right out of the gate. Running backs likely get you the most points on your team every week. It's probably the most important position in fantasy next to the quarterback.
And there's less.
And there's less.
There's one starting running back and there's 2 starting receivers.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
on every team.
Okay.
if you had in the first round, you really should be getting a running back, and names you're going to want to look out for. We've mentioned some of them: Christian McCaffrey, Bijan Robinson, Breece Hall, Jonathan Taylor, Saquon Barkley.
Okay.
Top 5 running backs, and then below them you've got Jahmyr Gibbs, Kyron Williams, Isaiah Pacheco. Those guys are also very solid options as well. So you should take a running back in the first round and take them early on too. Try to get 2 running backs within like the first 4 rounds of the draft if you can. Okay. You could look to get a really good wide receiver, right? So we mentioned CeeDee Lamb. There's Tyreek Hill. We mentioned Amon-Ra St. Brown. Those are guys you can take early on as well. Will probably get you a bunch of points.
Cool.
Not as solid as running backs, but I still like them. However, as Peter mentioned, there's 2 starting wide receivers on every team, so there's more depth at the position. So you can wait a couple rounds, like in the 3rd and 4th, and start picking off receivers. A lot of value plays. Guys like Garrett Wilson, Marvin Harrison Jr., he's a rookie, Michael Pittman, Mike Evans, Drake London. These are guys that are really, really talented receivers, just aren't going to get picked as high because people are going after running backs more. The moral of the story is you can wait to draft receivers. It's okay if you don't have them the first couple of rounds.
Got it.
Okay? Next, we'll move on to the quarterback position. A lot of people like to take quarterbacks early on, the really good ones. So like Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson. I wouldn't recommend doing that.
No. Okay.
No. There's plenty of depth at the quarterback's position, and you can wait till like the 6th and 7th round, maybe the 5th round, and still grab some really, really good talented arms like CJ Stroud, Joe Burrow, Kyler Murray, Jordan Love. Those are guys that you can wait to draft and load up on receivers and running backs.
Right. Okay.
Right?
Yeah,
So
good to
you
know.
kind of following the pattern here where you target running backs, sprinkle in receivers, then draft your quarterback. Okay?
Yeah, that's good to know.
And then finally at the tight end position, this is probably the least important one next to like a kicker and a defense. However, kickers can be important, but where they don't get you as much points. So it's okay if you don't have a great tight end on your team. There's obviously Travis Kelce. He's, again, one of the best tight ends in the league. We've Sam Laporta, Mark Andrews, Trade McBride. Those guys are going to get drafted pretty early on. Don't freak out. Don't panic. There's plenty of talent who are not as good but can still give you points that you can draft in the middle to later rounds. So Dalton Kincaid, George Kittle, David Njoku, Kyle Pitts is a really good sleeper this year. Those are guys you can take later on in the draft and still have put up pretty serviceable numbers for you. So that's all I got for you. There's not a science to this, just a strategy that I've found has worked well. Yeah, hopefully this helps, and hopefully you can win some games, maybe win your league. Don't worry about kickers or defenses. You can just pick those at the end of the draft.
Yeah.
And then there's rankings by each name. So if you just pick the highest rated one when it gets to your pick at the very end of your draft.
Got it. Very helpful. Yeah, that's good to know. My instinct would have also been like, oh, I got to get the best quarterback, because I feel like quarterbacks, it's like the lead singer of a band. Like that's what people talk about. But
yeah, no, it's definitely not as important. You can wait. Please wait.
Okay, good to know.
Wait. I'm trying to help you too.
What do I do?
Wait.
I mean, in our league chat, if you want to draft a kicker first round, I might just
draft all kickers. Well, that was awesome, Zeke. And look at this segue right here. Speaking of kickers,
oh god,
let's go over to you, PJ, and talk about soccer, the other type of football. Yeah, that was terrible. That came out even worse than it did in my head. And I knew it would be terrible. All right. PJ, take it away with PJ's patio. Jesus Christ, Zeke, you're going to knock over all the boxes.
I can't feel my ass.
All right, thanks, Chad. So just going to give you a brief English Premier League update. So Arsenal and Brighton ended up tying on Saturday morning. They tied 1-1. I have a gripe with this game.
You have a gripe?
Yeah, that made no sense.
I got a gripe.
I'm not too pleased with the officiating in this game. Declan Rice on Arsenal, he was sent off in the 49th minute. He got a second yellow card by Chris Kavanagh, who's the referee. Super controversial decision. He got the second yellow card because the referee had deemed that he got in the way of them trying to restart play after a free kick, which is normally a yellow card. However, the ball was rolling, so legally it's not. You technically can't play the ball back in. The ball needs to be stopped.
Oh, okay. So you think it was just a bad call?
It's just a horrible call. And Chris Kavanagh also is just, for some bizarre reason, I do not know how he has a job. Huge implications there for Arsenal and for the title race in particular. When you're playing against the juggernaut like Man City to try to win that title, you cannot drop points like that. Arsenal was dominating the game prior to Declan Rice being sent off. When you get a red card, typically, you're suspended for the next game. But my hope is that Arsenal is going to appeal that decision and also somehow manage to get Chris Kavanagh fired, because that guy's an absolute moron.
No one can tell that you're that furious, though, because of those slick sunglasses he got on.
That's why I'm wearing them.
No clue what was going on. Yeah. Pretty sure PJ was sleeping for the rest of the segment until we woke him up. So you never know.
Moving over to the other title contender here, Manchester City, they beat West Ham 3-1. Erling Haaland scored a hat-trick in this game. Last week, Haaland also scored a hat-trick against Ipswich. So he's scored 2 hat-tricks now in 2 straight weeks.
I'll be honest, can you just explain what a hat-trick is?
Hat-trick is when a...
Really?
I think I know.
What do you think it is?
Sorry, what do you
think? We don't shame, dude.
No, I wasn't shaming. I was just asking.
Ask Zeke a really hard question about
Broadway?
Yeah. Well, what do you think it is?
That shows my colors a little too much. I don't know if I want to do that.
Fair enough. It's when you score 3 goals.
Yeah, it wasn't even remotely in that.
Don't cut this.
My family has told me, they said, hey, love the podcast. You look really stupid, though. And I was like, well, that's kind of the point.
Well, hey.
I'm kind of taking the blow for a lot of people that I think are afraid to ask those questions that seem obvious. And they were like, maybe play it back a little bit.
No.
Well, we just got an impromptu term of the week there.
Yeah.
So there you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
Brought the segment
I'll
back.
take the blow. That's what we're here for.
So hat-trick, it's when a player scores 3 goals in one game. Erling Haaland did that last week against Ipswich, and then he did it this week against West Ham. Wow. The guy's just a machine. Okay. I mean, he just scores and scores and scores. He's unstoppable.
He's an ugly guy, though.
He is ugly, but I mean, he's they made him in a lab. The guy is so good. He's just built to be an unbelievable soccer player.
Probably would be more attractive if he was made in a lab, but
that's a good point.
And then last big game of the weekend, we had Liverpool played against Man U. Huge rivalry game. I know Zeke's really excited about this one. Liverpool won 3-0. Yeah, it was just it was an ass kicking.
Wow.
I mean, Manchester United is just not a very good team.
A lot of bald guys at that game.
Yeah.
Yeah?
So,
Both the
Is
coaches.
that important to know, you think?
Oh,
for
just
everyone?
both the coaches are bald.
yeah.
Good point to bring up.
Arnie Slot and Eric Ten Hag.
And both Dutch, I believe.
Are those
Correct.
Sorry, say their names again.
Arnie Slot and Eric Ten Hag.
Ten
Ten
Hog.
Hag.
Yeah, Ten Hag.
Arne Slot literally looks like a cone head.
got
Do you
a
know
hog.
those like those like old characters?
Oh,
like
yeah,
that?
with the big cones.
Yeah, he looks like a cone head.
Cone head.
But yeah, that's it really for my segment on all
Cool.
the
So tell us about your
happenings.
Paul's call. Did your call hit?
My call didn't hit because Clemson is fucking garbage.
God,
Whoa.
dude. Peter's rubbing off.
Is that the
on
first expletive you've ever said?
Yeah, I know.
On the show, on the show.
I just said shit like 2 seconds ago.
you. Yeah, well,
sorry, man.
you're the reason we
so-
got to put an E next to our episodes.
The call did not hit. It was a bold call. This week, though, I'm going to give you a lock. This one's going to hit because we're taking
love
the
that.
Iowa State. We're taking the under.
Love it.
In the under.
Love
What
that.
do you do, Iowas? This
What
is
is
Saturday.
it? Is
game.
it 36 right now?
It's 35 and a half.
Let me
Okay.
give you the updated line.
So
Love it.
lock that in. Double units, maybe triple units on it because that game, I'm telling you right now, I think we're getting a slick 9-3. I
Yeah.
mean, to be honest with you, it's just gonna be just a slugfest. Like they're just gonna be
Slugfest?
Pads banging.
just
Banging
punching each other.
pads. If you're not already, make sure to follow, like, subscribe, comment, do all those things because the more active you are on our channels, the more likely you are to be selected by PJ to get that $5 Dunkin' gift card.
And
Yeah,
feel
but-
free to
Call
leave
hits.
comments. I'll be happy to interact with you, too.
Yeah, we really like the comments whenever Zeke messes up, so
Yeah.
just make sure to do that.
If you comment on the podcast consistently, 9 times out of 10, the likelihood is that you're probably gonna get the gift card.
Love that.
It's biased, and I'm not ashamed to
You
admit
help
it.
us, we help you. That's pretty much how it works. All right, great segments, guys. A lot going on, which is very exciting. We are going to try something a little different today. We're going to call this Koozie Talks. So the way this kind of came up is we realized every week we're trying to give you the major headlines, the main things going on in sports, for the purpose of helping you out in social settings with friends or at the office or whatever else, whenever else this stuff might come up. So we thought, what if, as a sort of pop quiz to end the episodes, we did a little simulation? We're going to pick a random scenario and then we're going to simulate a real life conversation about a game that we'll pick. It's sort of a review of it and to show you an example of how you could survive in these sort of conversations. So we got a little bowl here with random ones. So Pete, let's start off. So what game are we going to be discussing here if it comes up?
Notre Dame A&M.
The
That's a
Notre
shocker.
Dame A&M game that happened this past week. All right, so what's our scenario? Who are we in this case?
I really want to do two people doing pillow talk.
Is that what it is?
Oh, God.
Okay, Pete and I are gonna be two people doing pillow talk,
Dear Christ.
and the and the Notre Dame Texas A&M game comes out. All right, let's set the scene. So, all
Oh,
right.
that would like ruin. That would
Are you
ruin
guys
the whole
like
night.
having a sleepover?
Yeah,
or?
what's going on?
Sure.
Okay.
Something like that. All right. Hey, that was really nice. I had a great time
Yeah, same.
this whole night. It was really great. So anyway, I mean, I've had such a good time spending a lot of time with you, but I still feel like I don't really know you that well. Like, what are you into? What do you like to do on the weekends?
It sounds like we're at a coffee shop.
Sorry, my pillow talk isn't very convincing.
Yeah, I'm a big football fan.
Oh, you are really?
Yeah, I really like football.
So I know week 1 just happened, college football. Any
really?
teams in particular you're a big fan of?
I'm so sorry. You gotta pull it together, man.
Zeke may need to leave for this.
I'm so sorry.
He's gonna have to do one next.
Dude.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
there's no way you're getting through that with him. He's gonna start laughing.
Are there any teams in particular that you like, that you follow?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Notre Dame.
Oh, Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Fighting Irish.
Yeah, I'm surprised you know that.
I do. I actually I didn't catch the game, but I sort of kept up with it, so I know that they beat Texas A&M, right?
They did. It was a great game. It was one of
Yeah.
their first big wins on the road in a while.
And it was pretty close too, right?
Yeah.
What was the final score again? It was
It was 23-13.
23-13. Wow.
It was a really close game. Notre Dame came away late. It was awesome.
Right.
It was exciting for Notre Dame fans. Yeah.
Yeah, which is big because they're ranked 9th, I think, right? And
7th.
there you go. There's something to fix. Notre Dame's ranked 7th, right? And Texas A&M is like
20th.
20th. Well, that's crazy because I know, isn't it like traditionally a thing, right? Like if you play at Texas A&M, it's one of the hardest places to win, just because of the fans and all. So the fact that they beat them at home is pretty big, right?
Yeah, it's considered the hardest place to play.
Damn. Well, congrats to the Fighting Irish.
Very impressed you knew that.
And I'm really glad that your team won, and I think they're going to play in Illinois soon, right?
Yeah, they're playing Northern Illinois.
Okay. That's great. Well, I hope they do well. They do well next
They're
year.
playing at home, so they're in Indiana. This is like Pillow Talk done. How you can do better.
Oh yeah, okay. That was first of all worst pillow talk I've ever had.
Yeah, it was awful. I don't think you're going to talk about the Notre Dame game during Pillow Talk.
Probably not.
But it was clear you actually paid attention to Pete's segment.
Yeah.
Like,
All right, so what could I
these.
have done better? What were things I should have mentioned that I didn't? Like,
No, I think you did pretty good. You just got the rankings wrong, which that's a very minute detail.
Right.
And then
Who cares about that?
you don't really have to talk about who they're playing next. They're playing Northern Illinois. They're bad. They're playing Notre Dame plays in Indiana, so they're playing. They're playing at home. But
got
yeah.
it. Okay. Not
Well
bad.
done. Well done.
So there you
Not
go.
bad.
I thought you did a pretty good
Yeah,
job.
that was great.
Real world conversation right there.
Nice.
Kind of.
Congrats.
Sort of. All right. Now we're gonna go over to you, Zeke. We're gonna simulate a situation where the NFL Week 1 coming up is sort of talked about, and we have to have a conversation about that.
Peter's picking out a specific
Pete's
one.
picking out a scenario.
No, I read some, but I'm just gonna do random.
Yeah, do a random. Let's see what we got.
Pillow Talk.
No.
No, dad plus son's girlfriend's dad.
Okay, so it's two dads and their kids are dating.
Oh.
And I guess they're at
Okay.
like, probably like a cookout and,
And,
they're like
and
trying
I'm
to make small.
I'm supposed to be like the expert who.
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
Like and
All right.
I guess I'm trying to have a conversation. About
Okay.
So all right, so we're sitting at the whatever.
You had a cookout
Yes, yeah, we could say it.
or at, like a pool party?
They're pretty cute together, don't you think?
I've just been looking at these brats, trying to make sure I don't overcook them.
Glad we finally got to meet Stan.
Yeah.
It's,
It's great to meet you.
our kids are really hitting it off.
I know Megan's very happy with Steven. So
Yeah, well, I told Steven if he breaks her heart.
Yeah.
Yeah, I told him.
Oh, okay.
Doing a
Well,
good-
thanks for doing that.
Doing a good job on the grill there.
Yeah. How do you like your burger?
Rare.
Okay.
Maybe a bit of brown.
Let's do medium rare.
medium
You're
rare
gonna get
works for me.
salmonella.
Yeah. You want
Medium
cheese
rare
on
works
that?
for me. Yeah.
Hey, you excited for this game coming up this week?
Oh,
NFL
yeah,
kickoff.
yeah. NFL. Yeah,
Yeah.
You follow?
I love that. I've got 5 fantasy football teams.
Okay.
I'm a huge Ravens fan.
Oh,
Cannot
yeah.
wait.
Well, Thursday night. I'm excited to tune in. Ravens Chiefs. I know they blew them out and they blew the Ravens out in the playoffs of the AFC last year.
Yeah,
So-
I why don't you tread carefully there? They didn't blow them out, okay?
All right,
It's still
fair
a
enough.
relatively close game.
But Lamar
Are
Jackson.
you not a Ravens fan?
No, I like the Ravens, but
Okay.
I like Lamar Jackson.
Oh, he's great. I
Yeah.
love him.
But Pat Mahomes, he's everyone's favorite, and now Travis with the whole Taylor Swift thing. Everyone loves the Chiefs.
Have you seen that trend where everyone's like, hey, Travis Kelce got famous because of Taylor Swift?
Yeah.
I'm like, that's ridiculous.
I
He's
think-
the best tight end in the league.
I think it was good timing. She blew up on the Eras tour right as the Chiefs sort of came into their peak, and so
Yeah, I don't know what Eras is, but yeah, I guess it makes sense to
you
me.
don't know what the Eras tour is?
Don't say
Like I said,
anything
I
bad
just
about
watch.
Taylor
I just
Swift.
watch
You
like
get
watching football. I'm not a big music guy.
Well, that's gonna have to be a different podcast, but yeah. Well, I'm excited for that one. Any other games you're particularly looking forward to?
Yeah, I mean they're playing in Brazil this year. The
Yeah,
Packers
yeah.
Eagles. That'll be
Packers,
great.
Eagles,
but
that'll
no,
be good.
it's really this.
That's the big one for you.
big one. Yeah,
I'm
I'm a
excited
Ravens
for
fan.
Cowboys versus the Browns.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
Any
one.
reason?
I think that it'll be it's not a huge rivalry, but I think it's gonna be an exciting game.
Yeah.
Completely forget all the reasons we care about that game, but
Tried to spoon feed you there. A fact.
I know, what was it?
Brady's
Brady.
first game.
Oh,
in the booth.
that's what it was. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for that. I'm actually originally from Boston. Big Brady guy. I'm excited to see him in his first color commentary position.
Yeah, no, I think he's going to be great.
Yeah.
He did a little bit of announcing at the UFL championship,
Right.
So I thought he sounded great.
Yeah.
But yeah, that should be a good
Very
game.
good. Well, hey, how are things with you and Sarah?
I think that's where we cut the segment.
We'll cut there.
Jesus Christ.
He wasn't ready for that one. You don't know what the Eras tour is?
I was trying to be a dad who doesn't like dads.
Oh,
Yeah,
you were really in character. Holy
that's what I was trying to do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't catch that. That was great acting right there.
Thanks.
All right, so what could I have done better?
Yeah, so I think overall you did pretty well. I think the one thing that tripped you up a little was you said that the Chiefs blew out the Ravens.
Oh.
When you're in these instances, just stick with the cliff notes. Just say, yeah, I saw the Chiefs won last year.
Okay.
Because if you try to add too much detail, you could dig yourself a hole.
Yeah.
Right.
And like start
Because they'll start going, well, they didn't really blow them out, and then you're going to be
if
like,
you're like especially a Ravens fan, that's why I said,
Right.
hey, tread lightly, you know.
Okay.
But no, I think you did great. And then I tried to spoon feed you that Brady fact.
I forgot, man.
But it's okay. It was a good matchup to bring up. It is one of the bigger games on this weekend. So that was a good call on your end.
Cool.
But yeah, overall, I'd probably a B+.
B+? I'll take a B+.
Yep.
Yeah.
Passing grade.
That's a passing grade.
Yeah.
All right, I like it. Well, that was our first attempt at Koozie Talks. We're going to try to do this every week unless it sucks and doesn't get any better, and then maybe we'll drop it. But we'll see. All right, well, we'll close out, as always, with our Future 5, things to look out for this coming week. Take it away, guys. A lot of games going on. Which ones do you think we should tune into, if any?
We've been talking about it all episode, but Thursday night, September 5th, Baltimore Ravens at Kansas City Chiefs. NFL officially kicks off. And then the next day, we've got in Sao Paulo, Brazil, the Green Bay Packers and the Philadelphia Eagles.
Nice.
So look out for those.
Tune into those two. Great.
Yeah, then Saturday, a lot of games. Again, college football week 2, but we got the Texas Longhorns going into Ann Arbor playing the Michigan Wolverines, 9-4, great game. Then, as we've been talking about in score predicting, we have Iowa State, big rivalry.
Yeah, and then to close out the weekend, we've got Brady's first game in the booth, Tom Brady. So that is the Dallas Cowboys at the Cleveland Browns at 4:25 on Sunday.
Awesome. A lot of exciting stuff going on. Football is in full swing. Soccer, EPL is still going strong. So we got a lot going on. Both types of football. A lot to watch. We are out of the dog days of summer for sure. And this is SportNotes. If you're not already, make sure to subscribe to our channel. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok. And tune in every week to get your headlines, your basic updates, and all things going on in sports so that you can survive in your own Koozie Talks out in the real world. And I think that's all for now. All of us signing out from Boston. All right. Anything else from you guys?
Nope. Nada.
Except for that.
No
All right.
name
Thanks
train,
for watching.
baby.
Tune in next week.
Peace.